Hey, what's up? It's another video of a unboxing. Well, I guess as you can see, it's actually been unboxed. I figure there's not much to see in terms of a plain, rather plain black box that the Zodiacs come in, as well as having all the plastic wrapping around the watch. You just want to just get straight to it, right? So here you go. That's basically like a new watch presentation more than an unboxing, really. But anyways, this is my second Zodiac Super Sea Wolf. They basically come in three flavors. There's this one, this style dial, and well, the bezel insert more or less looks the same with the general design, but they can change from like color and material, like stainless steel or whatever's underneath this crystal inserts, and it is mineral. They don't use sapphire for some reason, though the crystal sapphire. I'm not exactly sure why. I know a lot of other companies, when they want to achieve this look, they do use, um, they can use sapphire as well, but Zodiac doesn't do that with their bezels. Um, so they have this style, which is kind of like, I don't know. It's got these, usually has these rectangular markers, matching kind of, you know, rectangular style handsets, and this outer chaptering. I don't think they all have that. And then there's another one that's that was kind of different too, and it's got these like paddle handsets. Like it's kind of got these bigger kind of, I don't know. I call them paddles, but you can maybe call them. They sort of look like a screwdriver end, or like a, it's just kind of this big at the end of the hands. And then there's the other one, like the one I own, the Z09211, which was a Hodinkee exclusive, all blue dial and bezel insert. That one has the triangular markers at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 with the Arabic numerals inside of them. And they have rectangular markers everywhere else, but they're just a lot skinnier, not so blocky. And that was a nice one. Check out my review and my watch strapping videos. Maybe even on Instagram if you want to see some still photos of them of it. But I ended up selling that one, and I didn't think I was going to get another Super Sea Wolf. I like them, but I thought uh, at the time I thought I was kind of done with them. Just I don't know. I thought maybe I'll be getting something else, but actually I had looked at this one before my last one that I had, the Z09211. By the way, this ref is Z09287. If I'm not mistaken, it'll be in the description, but I'm just checking. Yeah, it's in the back there. And yeah, it's got this nice light blue sapphire insert. Oh, no, sorry. Mineral crystal bezel insert. And it's got a matching minutes hands there. Kind of makes sense. You're going to probably use the minute track with the timing bezel, and they're both kind of color coordinated, right? With that light blue accent as a accent color on this watch. The dial is actually, might appear a bit black here, but it's actually like a dark blue, like a navy color, and there's a outer chapter ring. I wouldn't call it a rehot because that's actually what's kind of brushed, or is it polished on the inner very side walls of the inside of the dial, I guess. But this white chapter ring is well, it's white, and yeah, I've already sized this up. I didn't feel a need to waste time showing me hammering out pins, but I'll show you how the system works in case you're curious if you plan to get a Zodiac with this kind of, I guess, Jubilee style of bracelets. That's the other thing. The other bracelet was different too on mine. It was more of an oyster style. It was okay, but it didn't feel as refined as maybe this one does. Um, that one had just is more oyster style, just three links, and they were rather long too. So getting the right fit was tricky. Um, it ended up I found the fit, but where the clasp ended up on my wrist wasn't in my ideal situation that I would want it in. Sorry, I can't go any further out. But usually I try to center the clasp to the center of my wrist. But sometimes you can't do that. It's going to be on the outer, or it's going to be, I guess, more on the inner side, depending on how many links you move and if there's any adjustability as well. But try to get centered. And if I err, I would guess I would rather err at having it moved up closer this way. I just feel it holds onto my arm better rather than it sliding out to the back this way too much. And I just feel that that would rotate more. But anyways, back to the bracelet. So it's pretty nice. Show you real quickly. It's got actually quick release pins, which is cool. Wish it had drilled through lugs, but that's all right. This is a 200-meter water resist, of course. Screw down crown, signed buckle. This is obviously a butterfly style or dual deployment. And it's pretty nice. I'm not always a fan of butterfly style, but I think they managed to keep it relatively slim. It's got curvature to it, and it has something that more just bulkier and something else additional going on here that doesn't seem to make it look clean, and also thicker, which you don't want. And see, solid end links, and this does have that suspension system, or not suspension but stretch. So if your arm swells up a little bit throughout the day, and of course depends on how tightly you size the bracelet for your wrist. If it's fairly loose, you'll probably never use this. But if it's even a little bit loose when your hand swells up, or if it's just perfectly fitting, I'm saying the wash and rest, this could come into play to give you just a little bit of extra comfort. But well, I'll get more into it later. But as you can see, it's a what you call this, sequential. Like you have to, when you unbuckle it, this has to come off, and then this, and then in the reverse order, this has to. Oops, getting off camera. This has to go in first, of course, and the logo fits right in and matches like that. Sign back. Yada yada yada. And quick sound. Actually pretty nice feeling and sounding. It's not, I wouldn't say this, there's no real back play. And everything lines up pretty good too. And what I was going to say, we're going to go into the bracelet. How do you size this? Well, it's like a pin and collar system, as you see here. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This pin goes, basically, this collar rather, this fits right inside here in the middle 3 links. So, and it's a little tricky. I'm going to show you why. So imagine this is the other end. You can connect it, right? But you can't fit this spring bar through this hole. It's just too, the diameter is just too wide. It's a bit wider than this opening. And that's only meant for the pin to come out or go into. You see here. And the trick is when you find your size and you're trying to piece it back together, one thing is you got to make sure all the links throughout line up. Otherwise, as you're trying to push, or rather hammer in probably this pin back in, if any of the stuff is off, it could hit the inside and you won't get it any deeper or set in the way you want to or need to. This is something to keep in mind there. So anyways, if you imagine you remove your links, you want to piece your bracelet back together, and basically you put these two together, but again, like I said, you don't have access to this hole to put the collar in. So what you have to do is so you got to use these two as well as this middle one, which actually they all fit together, but that middle one goes right in between. And then what you have to do is, actually maybe beforehand, you should try to flip. You have to flip the rest of the this part of the bracelet out because it's blocking. I see like this, and right there. It's tricky, especially I'm trying to do this behind the camera. If I'm right in front of it, it'll be easier. So first thing is you're gonna have to find a way to get that collar in there. So maybe see, that did that. You just have to push it. Otherwise, it's lined up as blocking. So you have to find a way to flip it, push it out of the way, and then let's see. It's not I guess it should be like that, and then you make sure this fits. Sorry, I keep going off camera. I'm not in the usual place or position this time to do this video, so my hands are going off to this upper right for some reason. So yeah, you're supposed to line it up like that, see, like that, and then you get this collar to go right in. If I can even see it through the camera. And then it's got to go through the middle piece too, right? And there you go. Well, actually no, it passed it. See, it's not going to work like that, so we got to pull back out. See if I can. There. I want to do the other side, but I think it's ever so slightly sticking out on that side. That's why I can't get it through. And then what I need is a little tool to help push that down. Yeah, see that? There you go. Now it's holding. Now you put this back over there, and it's got to be really perfectly aligned within those three center links, that collar. Otherwise, if you try to push this back to, into position like that, great, it came loose. Yeah. This one wants to come out. Back in. See? I gotta move this out of the way because then. There we go. Hopefully I can get that back in there with all three pieces in the middle. I feel it. I wasn't going to try to show anything more, but I think it's important to know this. Just trying to show you how this thing works. Okay. Let's try to push it in and put the side down, and then grab a pin and just push it in like that. You'll probably be able to get through the first collar that's, or at least the first part of it that's right through here. You'll feel some resistance, and then you'll have to tap and hammer this pin all the way through, and then make sure, the tricky part is make sure that alignment, especially you have a tube in the middle to keep it straight in those 5 inner ones once you can get in there. But on the other side, it's actually finished okay. The other one on the Zodiac felt a little bit sharper or something. And so yeah, as you can imagine, just tapping it back in so it looks like these other ones. And there you go, it goes larger, and then you just well, this is separate, so you want to take this out as you're disassembling it. I'll show you that once you got that pin out, carefully knock that out, then you gotta flip this around, or just out of the way so that you can get, because right now this is holding these two pieces together right here via the pin, or right there. And so see, and just push it out. There you go. So anyways, going back to the watch, sorry, I just took too long on that, but I really wanted to show, because you can see that was a bit tricky to do. So hopefully you can nail it a bit more or less in the first try. And so that's how it looks like. Pretty good looking. It's got almost like a Z104 style case. And pretty handsome. We'll see how it runs. I'm gonna give it its test run starting tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll get through the weekend with it, because I do plan on switching to a different watch. But if not, then or if otherwise, yeah, I'll go through and then I'll come back on the next day to keep going with this, just to give it, figure out if it's accurate or not. Hopefully it is. And just a quick wrist shot if I can do this. That's a pretty decent snap. Let me back up a little. My wrist is just under 7 inches, like a little bit more than 6 3/4. It's more like 6.875. So, yeah. Anyways, just for a sizing reference. And this is pretty relatively slim too. It's not really fat. I'm pretty sure it's under 13, maybe even under 12 millimeter sticks, but I have to check the data on that, the specs. But we'll get into that maybe in the full review. So that's it. This is kind of a long unboxing that really didn't have anything to show unboxing. It's just the aftermath, which is just basically a review of the watch itself, right? So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next. Bye.